just do crunches to lose belly fat. Or how about taking tapeworm supplements for rapid fat loss? You've probably heard people mock these controversial fat loss hacks. But what if there are actually useful tips hidden behind the controversy? In this video, I'm breaking down and I'm ranking 5 controversial fat loss hacks from some of YouTube's biggest fat loss experts, so you can get lean without the gym bro routine. Now we've got Dr. Eric Berg, and we're scoring today's controversial fat loss hacks across 3 categories. 1. Undeniable winners. Hacks that make a significant impact on fat loss for almost everyone. 2. Personalized power plays. Hacks in this category can be very effective, but it depends on the individual. And 3. Red flag tactics. Hacks that are controversial for good reason because the risks outweigh the benefits. Now, Dr. Berg, he was pretty controversial last time. I wonder if he's about to stir things up again.
The most dangerous way to lose weight.
Man, Dr. Berg, he never disappoints. So what has he got this time?
But my question is, way in the past, when we had a famine, didn't we also have a drought? If that's true, don't we have genes that also protect us against dehydration?
Sure, but let's get real for a second. Yes, we all have approximately 20,000 genes that flip on and off, kind of like an automatic dimmer switch that adjusts to our environment. But just because our body adapts doesn't mean we can just cut out water. But hang on, maybe there's a wild upside here.
Because 1 day of dry fasting is equal to 3 days of water fasting. By putting your body in a state where it can only get water from fat, so it's forced to burn more fat.
Right, so 24 hours of dry fasting, no food and no water, is supposedly equivalent to 72 hours of water fasting. So the only difference is water, yet you get 3 times more the fat loss. I think we both see the issue here, so let's get to the bottom of this. Sure, dry fasting will get your body scrambling to mobilize more body fat so you can release the stored water from the body fat. But does it boost your overall calorie burn? Nope. See, fat mobilization and fat burning, they're 2 different games. So you're not torching any extra fat compared to water fasting. And any fat that's mobilized and not burned off, it just gets restored once you rehydrate and refeed. So no, 1 day of dry fasting is not equivalent to 3 days of water fasting. Plus, can we stop acting like skipping out on water is some straightforward sort of hack? Because even if you're not drinking, your kidneys are still hard at work making a little urine to flush out waste. And with the waste, what else is leaving your body? Sodium and other critical electrolytes. And let's get clear on why electrolytes matter so you know what's on the line. 1. Heartbeat regulation. Without enough sodium, your heart's electrical signals can go haywire, risking irregular heartbeats and arrhythmias. 2. Fluid and blood pressure control. Your fluid balance takes a big hit, which can drop blood pressure dangerously low, causing dizziness. 3. Muscle contractions. When sodium's out of whack, your muscles and your heart included, they can struggle to contract smoothly, risking cramps or spasms. 4. Nerve signals. Sodium is essential for your nerves to send signals. So without it, your heart's ability to beat in a coordinated rhythm is screwed. So if you're fasting without water, build in electrolytes. For sodium, go for 1,500 to 2,300 milligrams per day. For potassium, go for 2,000 to 3,000 milligrams per day. And for magnesium, go for 300 to 400 milligrams per day. And if you're fasting for over 72 hours, get a professional on board. So yeah, dry fasting, it sounds extreme, and that's because it is. Skipping water is not just about dehydration. It's just a full-on physiological disaster waiting to happen. And for that reason, this goes straight into the red flag tier. Now we've got Sean Nalawani talking about intuitive eating. And the big question, can you consistently lose fat without tracking calories?
The answer, of course, is yes. It is possible, and there are plenty of people out there who do it.
It feels like he's wrapping us up in bubble wrap here. There is definitely more to this story.
However, as a general rule, I'd say this mostly applies only in specific situations. The first is if you're in the more intermediate to advanced stages with your fitness plan and you already have previous experience with dietary tracking.
Alright, let's break down these specific situations. Situation 1, the experienced tracker. This person, they've already put in the work, so they already know their maintenance calories to stay lean. They can eyeball a plate of food and estimate the calorie load. And they know how to listen to their body, adjusting to hit calorie and macro targets intuitively. And specific situation 2 is the beginner with a poor diet. Someone who currently has a calorie dense diet. Think fast food or constantly dining out. Simply clean up that diet with single ingredient, unprocessed foods, and guess what? They'll start dropping fats without even tracking. initially, but they'll hit a wall, and this is where tracking steps in. Now, some people like to dismiss tracking like it's some orthorexic thing for just obsessive types. But if you want to master intuitive eating, you need a period of tracking first. Why? Because your body is hardwired to store fat, and our current food environment is rigged to help us do that. For example, if you ate a plate of 250 grams of strawberries, you'd have just consumed 80 calories, and you'd be pretty full with your satiety signals saying, yo, just chill out, we don't need any more food. But how about 250 grams of Häagen-Dazs strawberry ice cream, and now you're 583 calories deep, and your brain has been short-circuited into screaming, give me more, even though you've just downed 7 times as many calories. So how do you make intuitive eating work? Step 1 is meal awareness. You have to start by tracking your current meals, the calories and the macros. This can be a big wake-up call. Ever thought that 2 eggs is a solid protein boost? Spoiler alert, that's only 12 grams of protein. Step 2 is now you can build balanced meals. Now you can get hands-on creating meals that fit your calorie and macro goals. Step 3, tune into hunger. Notice your body signals during meals. Think, am I actually hungry, or am I just eating out of habit? This way you can stop when you're comfortably full, instead of stuffing yourself just because the food is there. Step 4, test your intuition. Now take a week off tracking and let your body guide you. Check in daily with the scale and the mirror, and how your body feels so you can monitor the results. And finally, step 5, trust and adjust. Use what you've learned to eat intuitively. And if you notice that your body composition is shifting, track your food intake periodically to fine-tune your instincts. And if you want more insights like this to truly get in your best shape ever, I've got you covered. Just grab my free do-it-yourself program linked below. 60 ways in 60 days to get lean without the gym bro routine. Or if you're ready to guarantee your results and work with me personally one-to-one, hit the link in the description below. Now, intuitive eating is the long-term goal. But if your aim is to get lean, your body is fighting you every step of the way. So this one's dropping straight into the personalized power play tier. It can be very effective, but it depends on the individual. Now we've got Mikey Musumeci, the baby-faced assassin. So what's his controversial hack for staying this shredded?
I fast 24 hours and every night I eat pizza and pasta after I train.
This guy's shredded eating pizza and pasta every day. So is he talking about cauliflower pizza and 0-calorie shirataki noodles?
I hope you're hungry because this is thousands and thousands of calories.
Nope, we're talking real deal full-on pizza and pasta here, not the low-calorie stuff. So how can he train so hard and be the best in the world on no food all day? Well, Mikey has clearly mastered metabolic flexibility. And how? Well, 1 meal a day paired with high activity cranks up fat oxidation, not just mobilizing it like Dr. Berg's dry fasting. Mikey's body is actually burning a ton of stored body fat for energy every single day, and this forces his mitochondria to upregulate fat metabolizing enzymes. Mikey can keep going on body fat alone, no energy crashes and no brain fog. But he's got something else dialed in. Calorie dense but nutrient packed meals full of healthy fats.
I really like to put a lot of olive oil in. Pine nuts. I'm gonna put about 2 tablespoons in.
So that's olive oil, pine nuts, and a pile of cheese. Premium ingredients and no holding back on the calories. And his meals are loaded with fats, meaning tons of energy and a serious boost of fat metabolism in his mitochondria. But this time from the fats that he's eating. So if you're trying to pull off 1 meal a day too, and you want consistent energy the next day, your body's got to be fat adapted, but with the right fats like Mikey. Developing this top-notch metabolic flexibility with 24-hour fasting, such a powerful tool to develop. But let's be real, this is tough for most people to pull off. And our genetic differences make it really hard to turn this into a reality. And for that reason, it's got to go into the personalized power play tier. And if you're new here, my name is Tim. I'm a food scientist and personal trainer, now based in Austin, Texas. I specialize in helping guys hit 10% body fat without letting fitness take over their life. So subscribe for more, or if you're interested in one-to-one coaching from me, head to my website. Now we've got something unexpected from science bro Lane Norton. He's hitting us with new research on stress and fat loss.
What happens in the mind affects the body, and what happens in the body affects the mind.
Of course, we all know this deep down, but if you're a type A go-getter, you probably think instead that you need to power through this fat loss phase. You'll just chill out later, once it's done, right? But here's the thing.
If you're spun up all the time, if you're stressed out all the time, if you're ruminating over stuff all the time, it is going to negatively impede your ability to recover from physical exercise, and it's going to raise your risk of injury and raise your sensitivity to pain.
And this is exactly how it plays out. I see it in clients all the time. It's not like one rough day at work leads to a broken leg. It's more like running on a treadmill that's set at 20 miles an hour when you can only run 19 miles an hour. And day by day, you just inch closer and closer to that edge until you just fall off. And let's be honest, we are the worst at recognizing when we are close to that edge. We always think it's someone else doing something stupid, that's why they get injured, until it happens to us. And the worst part is, an injury doesn't just put us back to square one. It often pushes us further back than when we started. So what's the number one proven way to manage this psychological stress? Turns out it's mindfulness-based stress reduction. But wait, this doesn't have to mean meditation. The real question is, can we hit these three things? 1. Reduce rumination, cutting out overthinking and stress-amplifying thought loops. 2. Improve emotional regulation, strengthening the brain's control centers for emotions, so you can stay calm under pressure. And 3. Promote the relaxation response. Engage the parasympathetic nervous system to counteract stress and bring in a sense of calm. And the best part, you can do this in ways that fit you. Hobbies like painting, writing, or playing an instrument. Things that draw your attention and senses to the present moment, leaving stress behind. Or spending time in nature. Being outdoors, it reminds us that we're tiny in a vast world. And there's a ton of studies showing nature itself calms the body and mind. And physical activity. Rhythmic exercises like running or swimming that focus on your breath and movement, allowing you to ground in the present moment. Finding ways to chill out is something we all know we should do more of. But there's a huge gap between knowing what to do and doing the actual thing. And that's why this lands in the undeniable winner tier. Making this a reality has some serious impact on fat loss for almost everyone. Alright, now it's my turn. And today I'm bringing you a controversial take on how your gut health can influence your fat loss. Check this out. Researchers followed a group for 9 years and split them into two groups. The first group, the low gene count group, with some as low as 91,000 gut genes. And the second group, the high gene count group, with some up to 1 million genes in their gut. Now these genes reflect the diversity of the bacteria in their gut. And that's a massive difference, right? Now, after 9 years, those in the low gene count group packed on significantly more weight than those in the high gene count group. But what's driving the difference? It all came down to a powerful gut byproduct, butyrate. And here's how butyrate helps. 1. Reduced inflammation. Butyrate's powerful anti-inflammatory effects calm the gut and body, taking the brakes off of weight loss. 2. Improved insulin sensitivity. Butyrate enhances how your body handles glucose, stabilizing blood sugar and cutting down on fat storage. 3. Appetite regulation. Butyrate triggers natural satiety hormones PYY and GLP-1, telling your brain you're full and keeping your calorie intake in check. So how do you boost the genes in your gut and ramp up butyrate production? Here's your game plan. First off, include resistant starch foods. You can try cooked and cooled starches like potatoes, rice, oats, or even green bananas, beans, and lentils. This type of starch, it bypasses digestion and it gets to your colon where it's fermented into butyrate. Second up, high fiber vegetables. Broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, carrots, and leafy greens. These fibers fuel the butyrate producing bacteria in your gut. Third up, fermented foods. Sauerkraut, kimchi, yogurt, kefir, and miso. These all boost beneficial bacteria that add to your gut diversity. And the more bacteria means the more genes in your gut, setting the stage for serious butyrate production. Fourth, polyphenol-rich foods. Berries, dark chocolate, and olive oil. Polyphenols act as prebiotics, feeding the good bacteria and enhancing both butyrate production and gut diversity. Now, this is a process. You're not going to get 1 million genes in your gut overnight. And since we all start from very different genetic places, this one, it just misses out on the undeniable tier and it goes straight into the personalized power play tier. And for more coaching tips, watch my video here.